So today's episode is going to be different because I really don't know what vehicle to base this video on. So we're going to talk a bit about the channel, we're going to talk about how it came about, and a bit about myself. So I'm 27 years old. I've been into history most of my life. I've been researching World War II since I was 14, mainly to do with the vehicles, and then of course it came onto the battles and everything else to do with it. I have a massive die-cast vehicle collection, one of the biggest in the UK, and that's where you see sometimes on these videos certain die-casts that of course match the video. And I think you've also seen the model room on the channel as well. So how did the channel come about? Well, the 20th of December 2020, me and Kelvin was talking, and he said, you don't want a history channel that's into the Romans or Nelson's Navy or the monarchy. You'll find that boring. He said, you've researched World War II since you was 14. You're really into the vehicles, especially the lorries and the armoured cars. He said, this is going to be perfect for you. I said, okay, can you do me a logo? So he did me the logo. Most of the photos on that logo are his photos, and the rest are mine. He also did a perfect soundtrack. I could listen to that all day. It's so soothing and I love it. So the channel got created on the 21st of... Not the 21st actually, no. Dismiss that comment, my bad. The 29th of January 2021. And the channel kicked off on the 10th of May 2021 to do with the Crossley armoured car. And if you've seen the video and you hear my voiceover, it's utterly pathetic. I clearly don't cut the video where it needs to be cut, and I hate that video. The original intention of the channel was to bring you the most boring subject of the war: military lorries. And I wouldn't class them as fighting vehicles, and of course neither would you, even though some of the lorries, especially the American CCKWs, did have ring mounts for the 50 caliber machine gun on the Red Ball Express, so the lead truck was able to defend itself. Clearly not if it came up against a Panzer, but of course if it came up against a Kübelwagener infantry, I'm sure it would have been fine. So, I thought, look, there is no other channel that really goes in depth into Second World War trucks because they're just boring. They focus mainly on tanks or armoured vehicles. Me, though, on the other hand, I love trucks. If you look at my other channel, Truck Talk videos, you will, see a hell of a lot of videos that are just on trucks, of course. So I basically thought, look, let's cover allied trucks, access trucks, and as many trucks as possible. Because I'm really the only channel on YouTube who will make an effort to do that. And if there was anyone else like me out there who's into wartime trucks and there's just no real videos on it, or at least to do with in-depth history on that vehicle itself, then let's do it as our primary aim. Also, to cover other soft skins, like the Humber Box or the Jeep. As long as it's unarmoured vehicles, it's basically my personal interest. Armoured vehicles, I like the KFZ 222 armoured car. I like the Matilda, the Valentine, and of course the Tiger and Cromwell and Crusader. But tanks, they don't really interest me. The Second World War tanks do, because they're all different shapes. The tanks that were designed in the 70s and 80s are just, honestly, just not me. That brings me on to another quick subject, is where should the channel lead up to, as in should it cover 1980s, should it cover the 1990s, or is it just too modern? Because we are talking historical vehicles here, even though I do like the Audi Quattro, and of course that was 1980s. That brings me straight on to two more subjects. Number one, we did promise there would be a locomotive video. Still hasn't been done. We promised that the Supermarine Spitfire would be on the channel. Still hasn't been done. The reason for that is the Supermarine Spitfire, everybody covers it. So it's just too common. There's nothing new that I could say. Even though I know you guys would watch that video. Maybe it would surpass my Lockheed Hudson video with just over 25,000 views. But I very much doubt it. I just smashed it out of the ballpark on that one on a very hot sunny day. It took me 5 hours and it paid off, didn't it? So the original intention as well was to do a different series on the channel. And I was going to do one called Aircraft Stories, but that's actually going to be a totally separate channel now, I've decided. I was going to do one that covered historic vehicle shows in this country, whether that's wartime or just classic trucks and traction engines. There is a few videos from last year, but they're not very popular. I was going to stand by a Bren gun carrier or a Sherman tank and basically just say a little bit about it, or even just add a bit of B-roll footage so that I could put it as the video, like the Valentine tank. That's all my own footage. And then mix it in with a couple of historical photos and a bit of historical video. But that bit never really got off the ground, and I think you guys find it a little boring. So I'm not going to do that this year. That's going to either be on Truck Talk videos or Andy's Life. But our 5-minute-ish history, I mean, that's took off really well, hasn't it? It takes me around an hour and a half to make them videos, and we usually do it on historic aircraft. And I think that you guys love it because it's so short, and you can watch, lots of them. I mean, we're up to Series 2, Episode 4, I think. And of course, we like to do them every Wednesday, and then we like to do longer videos, 10, 15-minute videos on Saturday, about armoured cars or aircraft or even watercraft. Talking about watercraft, for some reason you love the Victorian gunboat. I really don't know why. It's like a 3 minute and it's like I think it's about 3 minutes 30 seconds long, and I don't know why, but you love it. You seem to like the ship videos, especially the Victorian stuff, so I'm going to try and get some more of that on the channel. And of course, Paddle Steamers at Dunkirk, that was just lovely to make. I just absolutely love that one. Didn't get the views it deserved, in my opinion. And to be honest, it is a shame that this channel hasn't got more subscribers, but we'll come on to that in a bit. What I will tell you though, talking about water, the seaplane video, you guys hated me for not saying the name properly, so I'll say it now. Arado. I said a radio, as in a radio. But then I said the Kriegsmarine, pretty spot on. So it has about 80 odd comments. Some pretty bad comments, but I knew I'd be in for that anyway. Sometime down the line, and it's got over 17,000 views, so there we are. So anyway, subscribers, yep, what I usually do is when it comes to 100, 200, 300, 400 and so on, I am 10 away from 400 subscribers, and I promise you I will do the PBY Catalina when I get 400. I wish we would have got up to a lot more subscribers by now. If I was to do the videos say 7 videos a week, I probably would do. I would probably get a lot more subscribers. The only problem with that is my mind would constantly be thinking, what video can I do tomorrow? And it would get too much, as in you would only watch like the latest video, so the other videos wouldn't get a look in, so to speak. And I think it would be a bit overwhelming, even though I'd like to do that. I am only one person who runs this channel. I wish I had a full team behind me, but I don't. And hopefully one day, if it got really, really popular, I could obviously get on Patreon, and then of course you guys could pay for a good few more bucks and I could do better videos, but that's another story that probably would never happen, but hey ho, dream on, I guess, why not? So I am really glad with the content that's come out on the channel. I wish I did do a lot more British classic cars, because I know there's a few people who love that series, but it just sort of went dead in the water, to be honest. It just didn't get the views that it deserved, even though the Austin Healey 3000 video, that was just a joy to make. That was just fantastic. My favourite video on this channel, come on, hands down, has to be the Leyland Retriever video, because it was 13 days worth of research. I just absolutely loved it, and it was basically like a feature-length special. So, yeah, just fantastic. This channel is my best channel on YouTube because it's about a subject that's very close to my heart, and you have seen what's happened over the past week or two with the girlfriend, or with my ex-girlfriend, should I say. You're probably all thinking, why has it hit you this hard? And this is something I'm going to cover on Andy's life. It's hit me hard because I'm only 5'3", and that's the height that the guys who were defending Rorke's Drift, of course, Zulu, were. I don't like my height, and I've never had a woman who is shorter than me. But Jess was shorter than me. Her build, everything, I could pick her up. She was just everything I've always wanted. So that's why it's hit me hard. And the relationship, it didn't even fizzle out. It just stopped. So it really helps me when I'm doing these videos now, because I'm just pushing her to the back of my mind, and I'm just focusing on doing these videos for you, because I know you absolutely love them, and I'm trying to get as many out as possible. And this is why we haven't kept to our twice a week schedule, with the 5-minute history to do with aircraft coming out on Wednesday, and then of course the main video coming out on Saturday. It's just been, there's a lot going on in my life right now, and I feel like once I've crossed this threshold, things can get a lot better, especially to do with putting Jess out of my mind. But as I say, researching these videos and what I do to do with these videos helps, basically. It really does. And your comments help, because, you know, I answer them, and it is a shame that there isn't as many comments as there was last year, or there isn't as many people leaving comments as there was last year. I'm not too sure why, but that's another story entirely, isn't it? But I am going to do my best, and I am going to keep up with the videos as much as I can. You just got to give me a bit of time, and then we'll be back on track. And there's a lot more videos to come about German armoured cars and historic aircraft and locomotives. I promise you I will do one of them this year, I promise. And of course, more ship videos. And I just want to, you know, get obscure subjects out to the masses, and I think I've been doing a good job at doing that. But then there has to be an historic aircraft of some kind that comes along every once in a while that everybody knows, and you can all jump on that video and say, that's quite a cool video, I've been waiting for that. But if you have any ideas, like say the IL-2 Sturmovik or Renault Gordini, or another MG, say the MGB or something like that, do post a comment, and of course I will get back to you as soon as. And it just will help. It will help, like, not just German armoured cars to say, oh, can you relaunch the British sports car series, or can you maybe do this series? So it would help, give a bit of direction to the channel. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. So that's a bit about me, a bit about the channel. I am going through a dreadful time right now, but you guys are obviously here to help, and the channel helps. The more you watch the channel, the more you help. So there you are. Keep it up. I will catch you on Saturday, and we're going to think over the next few hours what video I can do on Saturday for you. So stay tuned, watch this space, and I'll be back on Saturday. So have a good one, and ta-da.